Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be going over the mid-year book freakout tag, and I don't include every single question that is actually in the tag because I think there's like biggest crush or newest crush, newest favorite couple, etc., and then new favorite author. Mine's going to be new potential favorite author because I haven't read multiple books from the two new authors that I've read this year so far, so I can't 100% say that they're favorite authors yet, but they're potentials. So we're going to keep it more basic with just best, worst, disappointed, surprise, etc. The kind of simpler ones. And we're going to keep it really, really short. I'm going to try and keep it to just 1 to 2 books per category until the last 2 categories, which are new releases you haven't read yet but you want to, and most anticipated releases for the second half of the year, especially that last one. There are quite a few. So we're just going to get right into this because I want this to be super short, super to the point, and this is not going to be big elaboration about why I'm picking these books because I feel like I prefer doing that at the end of the year when we actually make like our big long lists for each category. So starting with best book of the year so far. And I feel like this comes as no surprise, but it is First Time Caller by B.K. Borson. I loved this book. This book was just so good. It was just such a happy book. I loved every second of reading this book. This is new favorite couple would probably be from here if I did do that question. New crush would probably be from here. So it would be all the same book because it would be this one. But I loved this. If you want a cute romance that is more heavily on the relationship versus the sex aspect of things, this is a really, really good cute adult romance. It is a retelling of Sleepless in Seattle, and I am so excited for the rest of the series because they're also doing You've Got Mail and I Believe When Harry Met Sally. So I think it's going to be great. Next up, we have best sequel of the year so far. I have not read a lot of sequels this year, and the ones that I have, they're in different categories. But I absolutely loved In an Absent Dream. I think this is the 4th in the Wayward Children series. This is the highest rated one so far for me. I love this. I was not expecting this. This is following one of the teachers from the first book. So I can't really say too much about this, obviously, because it is a sequel. I definitely think this is going to be a really, really difficult one to beat as I continue to go through the series. Next, we have worst book of the year so far, and that definitely still, because I read this in January. I think I read it in January. It was either January or February, but I'm pretty sure it was January. I read Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney, and I despise this book, and I despise this book because the author lies to you. So that is my biggest sin when it comes to mystery and thrillers, is when you could not solve the book because the author lies to you. Like, not the character, the author lies to you. And I don't like that. This is one of those books that did this. This is following our main character who recently, like, his wife went missing, or I think she went missing. And he's a writer and he ends up going to this secluded island and he starts seeing strange things. That is all I can say about it because it definitely is spoilers galore. But I would not recommend it. I think it's actually really, really bad, and I'm very mad about it, to be honest. Next up, we have biggest disappointments, and both of these I think are also on my worst list. They just aren't like at the very top. Well, one of them is. We have Immortal by Sue Lynn Tan, which is one of my most anticipated books of the year. Yeah. This was really bad. I think it's like 2nd or 3rd on my worst list right now. And I don't know where her writing went. Like, this is taking place in the Daughter of the Moon Goddess world, but it could not be more outside of anything about that series than what this was. Like, this was so bad. And I get what she was going for. She was trying to do something that is really, really difficult to do in a series, and I knew it was happening too because it's a callback to something that happened in the duology, and so she was trying to make the whole book this thing, but it didn't work. You have to be immaculate for this to work, and there were so many flaws, so many problems. The writing wasn't even good. That's what I loved about Daughter of the Moon Goddess, that duology. The writing is so ethereal, beautiful, amazing. The writing was not good in this book either. So on top of the plot being bad, the writing was also really bad. So this got a 1 star. This is definitely probably my most disappointed of the entire year. And then I do have a second one for this one. It is Never a Hero by Vanessa Len. Wow. Wow. This is the 2nd book in the Only a Monster series. Only a Monster is one of my favorite first books in the series. It's a similar situation of like all of us villains. This one, I don't know, like Never a Hero was one of the most boring books I have ever read. following such a cool premise where you're following monsters and they are like human-like monsters, but they steal time from humans to be able to time travel. Such a cool premise, and oh my gosh, it was done so well. Then to have this book, which was almost like a rinse and repeat, but plus like 200 pages, it was so bad. And then it does do something, it's not really a spoiler. This shouldn't be a spoiler. Like, this shouldn't be a spoiler. Like, the romance should not be, I feel like, a spoiler. But I do not like, I'm not a big fan of love triangles. I, on top of that, am not the biggest fan of polyamory in my stories. That is just a personal preference. I don't care if other people love it, do it in real life, whatever. I have zero problem with it. I personally do not like reading about it in books because I like the one person with one person type of situation. And so this is kind of a surprise polyamory plot. And I was not a fan of that. I did not like how it was done either, because I did like A Dowry of Blood and that did have polyamory in it, but I did not like how it was done in here. So sadly, wasn't a fan of this. Definitely one of the most disappointed books of the whole year. Next up, I have two for most surprising. The first one is She's a Lamb. I was not expecting to love this book as much as I did. I think I gave it like a 4.5 because most surprising doesn't have to be 5 stars. Neither of these are actually 5 stars, but She's a Lamb, wild. Like, actually wild. You are following the most vile main character. Like, if you don't like following people you don't like, even intentionally, because this is intentionally, you are not supposed to like this main character. And she wants to be a Broadway, she wants to be in musicals. Like, she's obsessed with musicals, obsessed with singing, and she just feels like she keeps getting sidelined. And it's kind of this descent into madness slash just like waking up, like realizing, oh, you're not the center of the entire universe, and just things happen and it's crazy and it's very just, it's insane. The book is insane, and it does such a good job of like starting off on this like very low, like, okay, everything is normal seeming, blah blah blah, and then it just ramps up as the book goes on, and then the end you're just like, did that just happen? Like, did that actually just happen? This is so good. I had no expectations going into this, and it's definitely majorly surprising how much I loved it. Also, the audiobook was really, really good. Next up, we have a huge surprise. We have Butcher and Blackbird. I did give this like a 3.5. I DNF'd this originally. Shocking. Like, actually shocking that I enjoyed this as much as I did. I think it's almost like a 4-star. I think if I were to think back on it, it's like a 3.75 4-star actually, after being a DNF, which is actually crazy. I feel like everybody and their brother knows what the story is about, but it's following our main character who is a serial killer, and she gets into this kind of game situation with another serial killer, and there's romance, and it's more of like Dexter serial killer situation where it's, they don't kill like good people. If they were killing good people, I don't think I would like it as much, but they are killing other killers and they've made it this game. And it introduces a bunch of other characters, and that kind of leads into the rest of the series. I originally did not like this because it was very sexual right off the bat, and I still had problems with that. But once I was able to kind of put that aside, I actually really enjoyed the romance and the plot, and it was just really fun, even some of the really gross parts. It actually turned out to not be as bad as I thought it was going to be based on how it opened. So it's actually not as bad as you think going into the book. So I actually ended up really liking this. Major surprise that I did. The book that made me cry, I definitely have two. Another one, this also goes on surprise books and best books of the year. The Man Made of Smoke did everything except for it did not make me happy. Like, this book did not, this was a very sad book, but this was majorly surprising because I have really not liked an Alex North book before, so I wasn't expecting anything going into this, and this was a 5-star book. Made me sob. Loved the direction it took. It was massively surprising how much I love this. It is one of my best books of the year. So this just did everything. And yes, this book made me absolutely lose my mind crying. And yeah, Sunrise on the Reaping. I have a video of me crying on the internet, which not a lot of people have watched, which actually probably is a really good thing. But if you want to watch me cry and talk about Sunrise on the Reaping, you should go check that out. Books that made me happy. First time caller, don't need to re-go over this, very obvious. I was so excited reading this book. I was so happy, and I was just having like the most giggly time reading this book, and I loved it. And then the other one was Holiday Romance. This was a Kindle Unlimited pickup. I think it was for Sid Bookworm's book club. I had zero expectations going into this, but I was reading this like literally making that face because it's following our main character who is going on holiday, and she ends up, I think she's traveling with this guy that she had met, and they've been like meeting up at the airport for so many years, and it kind of goes over their past together and all those meetups, and then they end up actually traveling together because a flight got canceled, I think is what it was. And so it's just so fun and so cute, and it takes place, I think, in Ireland, if I'm remembering correctly, and it's one that I read January, February, and it's still sticking with me, and it definitely made me very happy. Next up, we have new favorite author, and like I said, these are potential favorite new authors. Like, I haven't read another book by them yet, but because of how much I loved their books that I read this year, I have my eye on them to be a potential new favorite author. But yeah, B.K. Borson, definitely one of those. I'm really excited for Good Spirits to come out, I think in October or November. It might be November. And I'm really excited to see what else this author writes because I really want to read The Lovelight Farms as well. But sometimes when you go backwards, sometimes you might not like the books as much. So I'm going to see what I think about the newer books first, and then I'll do backlist books. And then I cannot say her first name. Tananarive Due. I think I said that right. The Reformatory was also, again, could have been most surprising because I don't generally like historical fiction, even in horror, etc. But this was one of those horror books that kind of just like punches you in the face and you're never gonna forget it. This was intense. This is some of the best writing I think I've ever read ever. So I'm really excited to read other things that Tananarive Due has written, and I think The Good House is on my list. And there might be one more that I have on my list, but I definitely know is it called The Good House? I think it's called The Good House. But I definitely think she's gonna be one of those authors that I have to be like in the right headspace for, but she could potentially be a favorite new author. And I love that I got the fancy aardvark edition of it because originally I wasn't gonna get this book. And then I saw the edition, I was like, oh man, it's really pretty, and it's signed. And so I ended up getting it, and I'm so happy I got it because it is also on my favorites list of the year. And then moving into books that they're new releases that I haven't read yet, but I want to. And the first one up is Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. I have it somewhere around here. I was trying to find it so I could hold it up so I didn't have to input stuff later because that's what future me hates doing that. It's so annoying doing that later. But I'm excited about this because I ended up part of that DNF video that I read Butcher and Blackbird for. I also read Not in Love, which I gave a solid 3 stars. I still had a lot of problems with that book, but I potentially like the characters in this next book better because I wasn't the biggest fan of the characters in Not in Love and the dryness of the story. So I'm kind of hoping that Problematic Summer Romance like has what I like want from it and feels more Ali Hazelwood to me than Not in Love did. So I am cautiously optimistic and I'm very excited to read it, and I really hope it goes well. And if you didn't know, Problematic Summer Romance, I think I kind of alluded to it, is the second book in the Not in Love series. It just follows 2 different characters. Then we have King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby. Last year, All the Sinners Bleed was one of my surprise hits of the year because I had never read an S.A. Cosby. It's definitely a more grittier mystery thriller, which I don't normally enjoy, but something about his writing like got me and I was obsessed with it. And so I'm really excited to read King of Ashes. I have it as a ALC, so I'm really excited to listen to it because I listened to All the Sinners Bleed and I also really liked it that way. So I'm hoping I like King of Ashes just as much as I loved All the Sinners Bleed. We also have Emily Wilde's 3. Still haven't read it yet. Like, I still haven't read it yet. It is greatly annoying me that I just keep putting it off, but it's because I need to reread books 1 and 2 because I don't remember that much about book 2. Like, I remember a lot about book 1. I don't remember that much about book 2, and I didn't love book 2 that much. So I think I just need to reread it and maybe I'll like it better the second time around. So I really need to read this whole series. And then the one that should come as no surprise is I still need to read, and I'm so excited about it, Atmosphere. I just keep putting it off because my expectations are literally through the ceiling for this book. Like, I'm so excited to read it because I have pretty much liked every Taylor Jenkins read. Recent. I have not read like the big backlist books. Recent stuff since Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo I have really, really enjoyed. So this is a 5-star prediction, which is scary. So those are all the books that have released in like the first half of the year that I haven't gotten to yet. But let's talk about my most anticipated releases for the second half of the year. I have quite a few. I'm just gonna get into them really fast. We have the Jessaud Crown, which is the second book in the Jessaud Heir series. I gave the Jessaud Heir a 4.5 because I didn't love the ending, but it has the capability of being a 5-star if the Jessaud Crown does a good job of taking it where it needs to go. So I'm really excited for that one. Again, can't really talk about it because it's a sequel. Then we have The Library at Helbor, which I am so excited about. I'm a huge Cassandra Khaw fan. I know a lot of people are hit or miss with Cassandra Khaw, but I think this one is going to be up a lot of people's alleys. This is like a very dark academia type of thing, and I am so excited. The cover is literally stunning. And then we have the follow-up to The Games Gods Play, and that is The Things Gods Break. I am so excited about it. I actually really liked the first book, and that cliffhanger was insane. And I'm so excited about it. And I feel like it's one of the only series / books that I actually liked that has Olympic gods and stuff in it, or Greek gods, because generally for some reason I don't like Greek god stories. I don't know what it is. I'm obsessed with like the lore, but I don't like the fictionalized versions of them for some reason. Then we have Thief of Night, the follow-up to what is it, Book of Night. So excited. I actually liked Book of Night as much as one could enjoy that book. I gave it a 3-star, which I feel like is significantly higher than the average, but I also just really like Holly Black's writing. So I really need to reread the first one because I actually have an arc of Thief of Night and I am so excited to read it. And then we kind of have like some of those extra ones. So we have Holly, which is the, 3.5 in the Belladonna series. Then we have Mate by Ali Hazelwood, which is going to be the next in the Bride series, which, oh my god, I loved Bride. Bride is what was my favorite book, I think, last year. And then we have, Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. First adult. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I think it's also going to be our November book club pick. I think it's a little tight right now. I'm not sure, but I think that one's winning. And then we have Good Spirits by BK Borson, which I also talked about, and I am so excited about it. There's so many good books coming out in the second half of 2025 that I am feral for these books. So anyway, that is my mid-year freakout tag. I'm definitely freaking out, especially thinking about the books that are coming out soon. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely let me know your answers to the questions down below. I definitely want to read all of them. If you got to the end of this video, oh no, what's a good emoji for this? What are the books that I talked about? Let's see, the last ones, The Games Gods Break, Thief of Night, Holly, Mate. Ooh, put a wolf or a moon emoji for Mate, because I think Mate may be the one that I'm the most excited about. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely make sure to let me know down in the comments down below whatever you guys want to talk about, answer the questions, leave that wolf or moon emoji. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future content, and I will see you guys in the next video.